So
we're just jumping right in. Huh?
What is this, like take 9? Gosh. Because we're out of practice. We haven't done it in so long. And now we're out of practice. And we're like a bunch of retards trying to hump a doorknob. It's terrible. Or monkeys humping a football. Or I got more if you want.
Yes, go on.
Look at this, Tony. Look at that. North to south knife. Do it. Look, I'm wearing one. Look at it. Hope it's focused. For all my people freezing their balls off on the East Coast, it's about 75 right now. It's rough. Somebody's got to live here, though. Just saying. Don't be hating. We pay out the ass to live here. You got any more candy? You got candy?
Oh, there's another one in there.
Oh,
there's 2 more. You
Oh, you are a good brother.
Don't forget it.
You are a good brother.
Okay.
What?
I'm making a little plan for us.
He's making a list. Checking it twice. We're gonna make this video.
A couple more times.
At least once more or twice. I like how I did that.
Yeah, clever. You must be an English major.
Yeah, you know.
So, deuces gone.
Deuces are gone.
No
That's
more
nice.
deuces.
Well, it's not true. I have 1 or 2 one-offs that I'm going to do. One is going to North to South Knives. That was for you.
There's the Sunday Stupidity video.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, now we're just warming up. So one's going to go to North to South Knives. And then I think one's going to go in either my pocket or Mark's pocket. Because Mark's like, well, I haven't actually made a knife for Mark in a long time. And so I always get like the new ones, like the prototypes and stuff, and he gets like leftover. He even said to me, he goes, can I get like a cool knife now? I was like, I'm sorry, dude, yeah. So he likes the deuce a lot, so I'll probably make up a deuce for him because I have like 2 extra sets of scales and a blade.
Deuce is a cool knife.
It is a sweet knife. I'm glad that people have received it so well. I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it. Which leads us into number 3, BAK.
The BAK, exclusively at Blade HQ. You want to go look at parts? We got parts. We got parts. There's the parts. See? Surfboards. California. I'm not hating on it. I'm endorsing your surfboardage. Look how organized they are. Gosh, that Mark, he organizes things. That's a face scale for the BAK. For the back. What up? So we got my lock bar inserts. Look, he's so good. He's so cute. Got my back spacers with face crushy points that I gotta grind in and then heat treat. Face crushy points. Breakers. I got these delightful, delicious 440C bushing pieces that will become part of the stop pin assembly. Oh, it's an assembly. I got all my ceramic bearings. What's up, ceramic bearings? You see that price tag? Ceramic bearings. Nice alpha pivots. Oh yeah. Oh, we're doing this. We are doing this. What else are we doing? We're doing some Radeons in pieces. So there's one. Well, actually, it's number 2. Number 1 was in my pocket until Mark stole it from me. There's a bunch more blades for it. There's all the handle skills for it. I am so excited to machine that. Not. And then we'll get to you in a minute. We'll get to you. Right there, that is going to be, that's model number 4, a prototype of model 4. A prototype, well, basically 3. Well, if you count Dad's knife, it's kind of a prototype. We'll call it prototype 2. Because Laughers was prototype number 1.
Did he finally talk Latin to you?
No, he won't speak Latin with me. Oh, I'm so excited. Unbelievable. I spent 2 years learning Latin, just never use it again. Anywho, we're calling it the Phantom because, and you'll see this one got stuff engraved on it right there. Right there. And because this knife in particular is actually going to go to Mark's brother, who is dying of cancer right now, but he was an F-4 Phantom pilot in the Marine Corps, and his call sign was Slam. So, that's why he has that Slam on it. But that's basically what they're going to look like. This is a little over 3-inch blade. The actual model itself will be made of S125V. That's right, I did it, I said it, I dropped it. S125V. Full tie scales. I'm probably going to do some kind of hole pattern in here. I've been playing with it. I'm a big fan of Tom Mayo, and I've always wanted to do something kind of tribute to Tom, because he's a cool dude. He's always been inspiring. And then, this is model number 5. Don't have a name for it yet. It's a nice pokey warning.
Pokey warning?
Pokey warning. And it will also be 125V, S125V, full tie. And I'm probably going to do some kind of onlay on this, probably. I haven't really decided if I can make it work in the price point. Both are going to be very nice knives. They're going to be very EDC friendly knives. They'll have 155 thou thick blades, 152 thou thick handle scales. It'll be very nice. I'm not sure if I'm going to run them on ceramic bearings yet. Because I mean, all that does is just drive up the price on them, because the ceramic bearings are 3 times as expensive as the regular bearings. So, just I don't know if I'm gonna do it. I might not. I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know what? I haven't heard back from Steve Kelly in a long time. Hopefully, Steve can have pivot screws ready for me, because I don't want to make pivot screws again, because that was a debacle. It was a lot of work, and because I had to make up for some inconsistencies in my CNC's ability to machine parts. What? Yeah. So much for repeatability. And, yeah, so I'm excited about those. We're actually going to run those at the same time. So we're going to be making about 60 knives at the same time. And, not including Radions and customs, so it's going to be a lot of work. Hopefully this guy right here will be in by then.
End of March.
Okay. And he can help out with that a lot. But what I'm going to do essentially is I'm going to show both to Blake and to Jake at Blade HQ, and I'm going to be like, hey, which one do you want? And so I'll let him pick which one he wants to buy, and then we will make and offer the other one to the public. We might not be doing international shipping anymore. It is always a debacle to do, and it's always very touch and go. I mean, there was one of the last premiums just got delivered to Malaysia, and we shipped it on December 17th.
Ooh.
Yeah.
2 months?
Yeah, and that whole time we're like, oh crap. I mean, because we don't want to like screw you guys. Like if a package gets lost, we don't want to be like, go fuck yourself. But I mean, we can't eat cost of knives to get lost by the post office day and left and right. And that would hurt us pretty bad, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we've got here, besides the failure to communicate, is the apprentice's last test before he graduates from apprenticehood. He had to design and make a folder, bearing-assisted folder, on his own. I mean, he can have I'm going to help him a little bit, because I want it to be a knife that actually is usable. So this is basically all him. I had to show him how to use Bezier's to do the blade a little bit, but besides that, it was all him. And I helped him with his...
And I input all the toolpaths for the blade.
But he definitely had to do all the CAD work for it. It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just push a button, though, right? God almighty. How many hours does it take?
All day yesterday?
Yeah, all day yesterday.
And into today for the handle.
So here, we'll show what that looks like without the thing. So it's kind of a big bellied drop point. Definitely not a knife blade shape that I do a lot of. And so it's kind of unique. You can see the different flare from one maker to another here. But actually, for what did we say? This was a 2 1/4 blade, or 3 1/4 blade. 3 1/4 blade. It actually fits nicely. It's gonna be pretty decent. I like this milling stuff you did here. I like it. It's a cool look. I'm totally gonna steal that. We might actually run a short run of these. If it turns out as good as I think it's going to turn out, we'll do a short run in S125V because I have extra of that because I had to get a big plate.
I gotta do something with that flipper.
What? What's wrong with that flipper? I have no problem with it. Mechanical advantage.
Yep.
I mean, so it has no bearings, no spacers, nothing, and you can still flip it, even pressing on the blade.
It's not even screwed together.
It's not even screwed together. I think it's good. I like what you've done here. I'm curious to see what you do with plot clip. Anywho, so that's what's going on around here. I will be. I'm always coming up with new stuff, so I'll probably gen some CAD for model number 6 at some point in time, and that'll be something that'll be May or June release. Yeah, that far out. That's how far out I have to plan things in order to keep stuff flowing.
Science lesson?
Science lesson? I don't know. I'm not feeling science lesson anymore. So in previous incarnations of this video, I had talked about, because SM100, I'm going to have more plate available. Probably in May is probably when I'll get some. So I can make SM100 blade stuff again. I might do a quick short run of 5 knives and SM100 maybe. They're going to be ridiculously expensive though. And I was talking about why it's so expensive, because the processes to make it are inherently expensive. Did you just hit your head? You're a retard. And
Hi.
I don't want to talk about it. Oh no, maybe you want to hear it? You want to hear it? Okay. Here. Let me put my professor cap on. Or my professor gloves.
Oh God, not the gloves.
Where's the marker?
It's already written there. Do you need the marker?
Yes. What do we need the marker? Aha! Success. So, as I was explaining in previous videos, before people called me on the phone and ruined the video, one of the reasons that SM100 being 60 nitinol is so damn expensive, roughly more expensive than silver currently, is because the processes involved in making it are expensive. So, to start off with, you're going to need pure titanium, at least 99.9% pure. And then you have to atomize it. Here's the rub. You have to atomize it in vacuum. So you need a vacuum chamber, and you need a titanium atomization setup within your vacuum chamber. Yucky. You got to do the same thing with the nickel. Because remember, everybody gets all excited about the titanium in nickel titanium, but they forget about the nickel part. Because it's mostly nickel. It's 60% nickel. Mostly nickel. It's a nickel alloy, actually. When you look under classifications of materials, right, and you look under nickel alloys, you will see things like Inconel, Monel, Hastoloi, and then you'll see the nitinols. They're mostly nickel. So, like I was saying, so then you got to mix it in vacuum at the proper ratio. This is the rough ratio. And then it can be put into cans. And a can is smaller cartridges. And they're usually made out of 300 series stainless steel. And they look like this. Yes. Look at that. That is the most gorgeous picture I've ever seen. They have a little thing at the top where the powder goes in, and then you seal it. So no air can get in. And then this gets shipped off to the good people with a hip press. Well, a hip press is a little redundant. But it's basically an induction heating furnace that actually compresses the material as it heats it. And then you get a solid chunk of SM100 with a can around. And then it gets rolled. I believe Niagara does the rolling for them. Niagara does a lot of people's rolling because that's what they do. They roll all of Crucible steels, and that's actually where I'm getting S125V from, is Niagara. And then that plate, in its rough form, whatever thicknesses it is, then it's going to get, they are precision grinding stuff now. So like it's PG down.
Oh.
Yes, so we don't
That's
have to
nice.
get rid of that nasty.
That's a pain to
roll
get all that
finish.
can off.
Well, it's not rolled. It's not canned because they actually dissolve the can off with acid because this stuff is impervious to acid. So they can dissolve. And dissolving 300 series stainless is no joke either. It's a fairly resistant stainless steel. But that's an 100 basically can't be touched by acids. So, yeah, no more as rolled finish, which is nice. I got some stuff from them that didn't have the rolled finish. Very nice, much easier to work with. So that's what makes it also very, very expensive. Take it off the professor gloves. All right, how much time are we at? What are we at?
We're at 15 right now.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about the cryo treating on the N360?
Oh, so the reason I've been wearing those goofy gloves is because of that blue thing right there. That is a official dry ice box, and it's left over from Mark's days as an ice carver, and we're going to be putting it to use. I've put it to use before whenever I've used a steel that benefits exclusively from cryo treatment, not just from some kind of secondary hardening treatment like LMAX and M390 do. But N360, which is what all the BAKs are made out of, it requires cryo for getting maximum results from that steel. And I'm going to be doing a lot of it. And basically, in my oven, it's about a 12-hour cycle from start to finish for those blades. And I can do about 5 at a time. So it's going to be 5 straight days of heat treat around here. I'm going to do all those parts too. It's not going to be a nice week when I get those back finally. Not to mention all the finish work afterward. But the thing that I do a little differently than most people do is the call out for that steel for cryo is a cryo in between the two tempers. And I was looking at the continuous cooling curve that it has, and I was like, you know what, this just begs for a cryo treatment right after quench, basically. And so I've done that on some blades, and I've had really, really good results from that. Significant improvements in edge retention to what it's supposed to have, if you can believe a data sheet. So, that's why I do a double temper, and that's why it takes 12 hours, and that's part of the expense in making the BAK knife, why the BAKs are so expensive. They have a fairly involved heat treat. It takes me some time. It takes years off my life, basically. John, I'm not kidding. I'm dying inside.
Just kidding. But seriously.
But seriously. What else are we going to talk about?
We've covered everything that's on my list.
Did we plug North South Knives?
Tony?
Because I'm wearing the shirt.
Wearing the shirt. Turn around.
Wearing it.
North South Nice.
Wearing it. Finally, in a video. I know, it's been months. But, sorry.
And thank you, Tony, for the shirt. I stole it from Mark.
He stole it back. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to have a special deuce for North to South. It's sitting on the table, being ready to be finished up. Actually, that's not true. I got to actually make a new blade because I was trying to do a nightmare grind, and the reason it's called a nightmare grind is because this is a nightmare to do, and yeah, I totally foolhardy it. So bad I had to throw it away. I was like, we're done. It was brutal. I was like, whoa, I can't believe we did this. Anything else?
I got nothing.
We could do a brief discussion on the economic realities of being a knife maker.
A brief discussion?
A brief discussion.
Because you got 10 minutes. Can you keep it under 10?
Probably not.
Remember, brief by our standards is half an hour.
Yeah. Well, because I try not to engage too much in like Instagram and Facebook and YouTube I do see that stuff. Like it's fairly ubiquitous, and it's hard to avoid it. So I do see things. And while I don't actively go out and look on forums, I mean, I know what goes on forums because I have made the decision to never be a part of them because I just don't like what they breed. Because it's not really a sharing of like knowledge or helpful things. There's always lots of negativity in there, and I don't know. I think, and I've seen a lot of makers, try and defend themselves in forums and try and try and speak up for themselves in forums and a lot of negativity go their way, and I don't need that. I don't want that. So if people are gonna bash me on a forum for a decision I made or for what I do, then that's fine. They can. It's America. But I'm not going to respond to it, ever. At least I'm going to try not to. Sometimes, there was someone did a video about, maybe a supervillain. Somebody did a video about asshole knife makers. And I was like, I can see where it happens very quickly and why it can seem like we're being assholes. It's because, for most people, when they go to their job, right? They go to their job. Let's say they start work at 8, right, and they end work at 4. They work an 8-hour day, and that's their job time. And then when they're not at their job, like they're done. There's nothing about their job that carries directly into their personal life. So they're not incredibly defined by their job. Knife makers, on the other hand, full-time knife makers, because this is our job, right? Everything about it is part of who we are. I mean, like, I am a knife maker in everything I do. And so I have an entire public presence as a knife maker. So I never stop being a knife maker. I mean, it's almost like being almost like being a celebrity or a professional athlete, where you're always that person. And so when people say bad things about you, it actually affects you personally. It's very difficult to distance yourself from the negativity that goes on out there in the world about anything, but especially about the stuff you make. And you always got to remember that, especially knife makers that are custom knife makers, we're the people doing the work. Like, we're the people who make that knife. And so when people say really negative things about it, I mean, they're insulting your baby, basically. It's what it's like. Oh, this thing's a piece of shit. And it's like, thanks, because that didn't take hours of my life. And that's what I think it essentially comes down to, is that knife makers get jaded very quickly because there are people that are generally, very supportive of what we do, and they really like what we do, and they're very encouraging. I've met a lot of them. They're fantastic. They're great to have as clients. But, then there are other people that aren't, and they have expectations of some strange level of perfection that really doesn't exist in reality. And so...
Not for the price they're willing to pay.
Yeah. And so... And I read things like, well, I could do that. And I'm like, okay, then go ahead and do it. Yeah, you're welcome to try. Well, I can make it for $400. Yeah, so could I, but why would I? Why? I would be making a knife for free at that point at $400, because that $400 goes into overhead, material, and consumables. Basically, I can show you the numbers. It's scary. Scary how little you can make on a knife. And so, what was that?
Text or something.
We're good. It didn't interrupt the video.
No. We're good. We're good. We're good. Keep it going.
I'm gonna rant.
Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going.
So, I've always tried to caution people when they've said to me, "Oh, that guy, he's an asshole," and I'm like, well, you don't know the entirety of the situation. You don't know what that guy has gone through in his journey.
Wait, are you saying gather the facts before you make a judgment?
Yeah, basically. I mean, and I have So I had a very interesting situation occur, right, where Mark didn't respond to an email because we get a lot of email, and so they can slip through, right? And I seriously I have to go through my inboxes, plural, and delete hundreds and hundreds of email, like thousands actually of email a week, and sometimes stuff gets deleted and lost and things like that. And so this guy got really upset, you know, that we were such bad businessmen and we wouldn't respond to an email. And Mark is a lot more fiery than I am. I'm always a little bit more understanding about things, and I'm like, maybe this guy's just having a really bad day. You know, maybe things aren't going great for him, and he's really pissed off, and he's feeling small and trapped or something like that. Because that's generally when you get nasty responses from people. That's what's going on in their life. There are outside pressures on them. Look at them, just psychoanalyzing. Wow. Yeah. There are outside pressures just forcing them, and it generates a negative response. So, he just told me I have 4 minutes left. I'm going to wrap this rant up. And so I responded to this guy, and I sent him an email, and I apologized, and I said, I have, what are those things called that I'm making? I have the Radeons. I'm going to have one available very shortly. I can offer it to you. And he's a cop, and I can give you a police discount and stuff like that. And then it happened, right? The dam broke, and he gushed out about how appreciative he was and how sorry he was for acting like an asshole. And I'm like, I understand, dude. Like, when things go bad in our lives, we feel a need to lash out, and sometimes we don't even mean to. It just happens. And like, so that's what I see knife makers doing, because for every really great client that we have, there are 3 or 4 other ones that are not great, and they're very demanding, and they want all kinds of stuff, and they want special treatment, and then they don't want to pay for it either, and that's the really kind of insulting part. And they're like, well, who are you? Nobody's heard of Fair and Force. You should be doing this for me. And you're like, yeah, not so much, man. Not because I'm like the greatest knife maker ever, and I got so many, well, I do have so many words that I can't fill them. But it's just like, we don't have time as knife makers, because we live and die by the clock, basically, because every second of our lives, and of your lives as well, costs money. You can do a fun little exercise. Go ahead and take, if you have a year's worth of financial data, because we're at tax time, go ahead and take how much money you spend in an entire year, all of it. The entire gross sum of money you spend that leaves your bank account and goes somewhere else. Take that, divide it by 365, divide it by 60. Now you have how much you spend per hour. Divide it again per minute, divide it again per second. You can find out how much money it costs you to live, to exist on planet Earth per second. And it's a really startling figure when you actually break it down and look at it. That's the kind of calculus that I do for this place. And so I can say definitively that every minute of the 2 I have left before we run out of video, is costing me $30, or not $30. I actually forget the number, crap. But it's it costs $30 an hour before we do anything here. Right? That is just the overhead cost for this place, $30 an hour. And so we have to make decisions as business people and as knife makers on where we spend our time. And if people come at us, and you can tell in email, I can tell, we can read between the lines in the email what kind of a person someone's going to be. Then you really just don't want to spend time with people that are going to treat you badly. But when people come at you with respect, then it's very easy to be really good to those people. So I would have to say,
treat your knife maker well.
Treat your knife maker well. Well, treat everybody well. If you want things from people, treat them well.
Be excellent to each other.
Be excellent to each other.
Life lesson from Bill and Ted.
That's a Bill and Ted.
Yep, that's a Bill and Ted.
Well, so that's my rant. What, you got a science lesson, a rant, what's up here? This has been a good video.
And we are at 29:10 right now.
Okay. Well, YouTube, see you later. We'll try and make more. He's going to be here, in a couple of months. I'm touching his face right now.
Couple of months?
I'm touching his face.
Next month, homie.
I'm touching his face. Good job, Princess. And we'll try and be more... I keep saying we're going to try and be more diligent about making videos, and we're not. A bunch of fucking idiots.
Well, we got stuff.
It's true. I mean, it's not like we just hang out all day and drink beer. And I have to say this to people. I'm like, I know we make it look like we're cool, we hang out all day, but that's not what it's like at all. It's a madhouse around here.
Wait, shit. These need to be drilled out. This needs to be shaped. You know, these lock bars need to be cut. This. All right.
And it never stops. It's a rarity I don't have a heat treat oven running right now.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Well, it's because I got a bunch of stuff I got to make. And I don't want to just run it for like 2 blades. I want to do like 5 at a time. It's called efficiency.
Yes.
All right, YouTube.
Bye.
We'll see you later.
Done.
Did you say bye?
I said bye, YouTube.
But not in the face.
YouTube, it's been a pleasure. We'll see you next time.
Get your finger out. What? See you later, YouTube.